Oh yeah! Peeking out my mic right from the jump. You gotta love it. It's Radiohead Championship Edition, ladies and gentlemen. We always do these late at night, and I start going into wrestler guy voice and immediately have to pull it way back and apologize for it. But I'm not gonna apologize for the fact that this is the fourth in the Radiohead Championship Edition battles, if you will. We are knee deep in it, folks. Before we get into our final round, we have one last to go, and this seems like a simple question, John, but how did we arrive here?
Yeah, this group 4 was never going to be easy because I think I said when we talked about group 1, it was like there's OK Computer, there's Kid A, there's In Rainbows. Those are kind of the understood pillars of the album rankings, and then you have Amnesiac and the Bends here, which their only real fault is that they weren't the albums before and after them. So it made sense to kind of put these two together. They're kind of on opposite ends of that spectrum. So we're gonna see how it plays out, and then we threw in the Amnesiac B-sides just for good measure, and then all of the assorted kind of singles and one-off songs that Radiohead has at the end, which includes some very, very songs as well. So this one, I think we had all said from the beginning, like this one was tough. It took a long time to kind of pare this down to 15 songs.
So to that point, like you said, this is the one where you had a whole lot of writes and rewrites. Was there any strategy involved in that, or just you couldn't finalize?
Yeah, just going back and forth, like going back. Oh, is it because I remember the Bends when it came out. A lot of people were considered that the greatest album of all time at the time. So I wanted, like, at first it was like, oh, I'm leaning more towards Amnesiac songs. Then it was like, well, I can't not have these songs from the band, so I'm leaning more towards that. And then ended up kind of somewhere in the middle. But oh yeah, it was a lot of painstaking process of like listening to two songs and having to decide which ones. Like, there's some of my absolute favorite songs that are not on my list, which is gonna hurt.
So Payne B. Brian's middle name, especially when it comes to this show. Brian, how did you go about your list for this go around?
I don't want to talk about it, man. I really don't. I constantly remind myself why I need to stop doing the show. It's just, this is not fun for me at all. Like, after going through all 3 episodes so far, and it was all right, but I knew this is the one that was looming over all of our heads. I'm not looking forward to this list or the concise list for all of it either. I want to shut up and get into it so I can just be disappointed and go home.
Oh, there you go. So we'll move on to Anne. Anne, how did it go for you for part 4?
It was rough. I'm a big Amnesiac head, and so it was really difficult paring down specifically the songs from Amnesiac and the B-sides on my list. Picking the ones that got to stay was like choosing children. But I managed to do it. So we'll see how it goes. I think I have a couple songs on my list that might be controversial, but we'll see what happens.
Everybody's spitting out hot takes before we come on. Ben, you spit out one. Do you think you're going to be the hot take man this go around?
I might, because I gotta say Amnesiac might be my favorite Radiohead album, but I honestly, even today, was struggling to come up with 15 songs because as much as this list contains so many personal favorites, there weren't 15 I felt like I could really argue were the best Radiohead's done. They're just like personal faves. And when I was looking at it and kind of going, okay, can I really defend this as like to the masses? Can I argue this is the best representation of Radiohead's craft? I don't know that there's even 15 choices here that I could stand behind in that way. So I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Well,
so let's move on to Kat. Kat, has lovingly been called the wild card here so far on all these episodes. Does the trend continue?
Yeah, actually. So where Ben is, have you guys ever seen that like nihilism meme where one guy is like having the worst time of his life and the other guy is having a ball? I'm the guy who's having a ball. I have the same exact opinion as Ben, except honestly, I don't really care that there's like 10 that I don't think that I can actually like argue. I know the ones that I will argue. I think the ones that I'm really gunning for are legitimate contenders for showcasing Radiohead as the best as they can be. And then the other ones I am totally fine with saying, yeah, I picked them for sentimental reasons, or just because I think they got excellent little noises on them. I'm a big Kid A and Amnesiac person. I think I mentioned that at least like several times. So this was a pretty easy cakewalk. I love the B-sides from that era. So I was just like, cool, we'll just slap a whole bunch of those in there. Feeling pretty good about this this little list I've come up with. It wasn't really teeth pulling the way that I felt like doing the third list the second list was pretty brutal.
Yeah. So are we looking at some big meat swings here, Kylie? Like what are you looking at this go around?
I'm always swanging big meat, but I'm somewhere halfway between Kat and Ben, I think. I had the exact same problem Ben had, where I was like at 14 and then 15 was like wild card, because it was like, I don't know. I can't even, probably not even all 14 of these are ones that I would defend for the next round, but that's fine. You know, that's the way that this is structured, so I don't mind that. So I was kind of like on the same bus, like in the aisle between Kat and Ben, meeting in the aisle, you know?
Ooh,
Yeah.
excellent track.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes you love to hear it, but you were throwing out the heat beforehand too, Peter. You said perhaps some controversial things according to some of this group, but how was it? How did you go about selecting?
I'm at the opposite end of most of you guys. For me, Amnesiac is one of my least favorite Radiohead albums. Like, I think there's some great songs in there, but I felt at the time, and I still feel like this now, that it is also just a bunch of collection of stuff that they didn't feel like they could put on Kid A. And there's just like, here's another album of stuff that we just couldn't find a place for. So I feel like The Bends is a stronger album overall. I feel like they had a clear vision for it, as evidenced by the album itself and its B-sides. So I think I'm going to be the odd one out on a lot of these.
Yeah, we'll see. But let's add a little weight to this. John, this was by request of John, and I think it's a great idea. Put a little pressure on you folks before we get it. By the end of today, the 10 songs you choose will go into the master list with these 30 songs, starting at the top from episode 1. We have Paranoid Android, Let Down, Karma Police, No Surprises, Airbag. Is it getting heavy in here yet? Climbing Up the Walls, There, Where I End and You Begin, Lotus Flower, Separator, Polyethylene, Everything in Its Right Place, Kid A, The National Anthem, How to Disappear Completely, Optimistic, Idiotech, Morning Bell, Daydreaming, True Love Waits, and getting into episode 3, 15 Step, Body Snatchers, Nude, Weird Fishes, Reckoner, Jigsaw Falling Into Place, Videotape, Gagging Order, Talk Show Host, and Blowout.
Oh my God.
So the 10 that you all choose today are going to have to fight it out with those 30. So with that weight on you, John, where would you like to start today?
I thought about this again all day today, and I think I'm going to leave Amnesiac to the Amnesiacs. And it's not number 1 on my list, but I'm very curious to see how it plays out. Let's go Fake Plastic Trees.
Ooh. All right, Brian?
No, I don't.
All right, Anne?
No, unfortunately. I do love it though.
I love that song, yeah.
Ben?
Yeah, it's funny. This is not a personal fave, but I feel like this has to make the list for best Radiohead songs. Like if we're making a general comprehensive list of best Radiohead, this is such an iconic song. I feel like it's made an impact for a reason. It's got to be on there for me.
Kat?
I thought about that actually kind of from that standpoint, but in the milieu of Ben's tracks, I didn't think it held up like from a technical standpoint, so I didn't put it on.
Kylie?
Yeah, it's a no for me. I do love it, but I think I was with Kat. It doesn't stand up for me, like in terms of, I don't know, interest in songwriting or musicality or instrumentation or production or all those things.
Interesting. Peter?
I absolutely have it. I think it's one of their best songs they've ever done.
There we go. Clinging to life, but very, very, very barely. It could easily get knocked out here. All right, Brian, where do you want to go?
All right, I'm gonna go with one of my top 5 favorite Radiohead songs of all time. My favorite from this record by far, and probably my favorite. Actually, it's not my favorite from the list technically, but whatever, we'll get there. Street Spirit, Fade Out.
All right. Anne?
Yes, obviously.
Ben?
Yeah, absolutely.
Kat?
Yeah, excellent track. Yeah.
Kylie?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's top 1, maybe top 2 on the Bens for me.
Wow. Peter?
Yes, yes, yes.
And John?
Absolutely.
There we
Fuck
go.
yes.
Thank God.
Well, there's one of them.
I played
I mean,
this
come
night
on.
1 in Philly. Oh my god, it was so good.
There we go.
That's Ed, the secret weapon.
Truly.
All right. Not a bad
And
start.
that video is amazing too.
Yeah.
All right, Anne?
All right. I am gonna start off by saying fuck all you guys. Polk Pole Revolving Doors.
All right.
I love it. It's on my list. I think people hate on it for weird reasons. And I'm under no impression that it's gonna make the final list, but I just had to shout it out because I think it's great.
There we go. I like it. Ben?
It didn't make the list for me, but yeah, I fucking love this song.
Kat?
Yeah, dude. I am a
Oh,
Polk
yeah.
Pole truther. Real song, for real.
Why did I have a feeling that Kat was gonna have that? I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kylie?
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I love that song, and if it was personal favorites, I would maybe get into it, but no, it didn't make it for best.
Okay.
Can I just say that you can tell we have a lot of Midwesterners in here because we keep saying, yeah, no, it's not on my list.
Is Colorado considered Midwest in this?
No idea.
That's Southwest, isn't it?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Linguistically, perhaps.
Yeah.
All right, Peter?
That's a no for me. Sorry.
All right, and John?
No, again, I do like the song, and I appreciate that it came out of True Love Waits, but no, not for this.
And,
Not for this.
and Brian?
I almost put it as like a wild card, but no. I know what it wasn't going to go anywhere near the list, so I just didn't even bother.
There you go. All right. Ben, where do you want to start?
I'm gonna start with, I think there's a few on here that I'm sure are gonna get tons of votes. I'm gonna start with some curveball ones. I'm gonna throw out Worrywart. I think this is always been like one of my favorite B-sides of theirs. I think it's just a beautiful, quiet, cool, vibey song.
Kat?
Sorry, I heard Worrywart.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, Ben. I do not have that one on there. I'm getting a little choppy action, so I apologize if I ask anybody to repeat themselves.
That's right. Kylie?
I did include Worrywart. It
Oh.
is probably my favorite B-side of theirs of all time. I just think it's a phenomenal song. I think it's an underrated song, and I think it's like if another electronic kind of vocal outfit wrote it and did it, it would probably be their best song.
Interesting. All right, Peter,
Nah, I'm sorry, I don't have that one.
John,
Yes, I love Worry Wart.
Fuck yeah.
Brian,
It is not now.
and Anne.
I am so sad. Worrywart is one of my all-time favorite Radiohead songs, but it's not on my list because I assumed nobody else would pick it, and now I'm like kicking myself.
Well, I mean, until
I
we get
really genuinely love it.
until we get a couple more heavy hitters, it's technically still alive, but a 3
Technically.
does not stand much of a chance the way this goes. All right, Kat.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I think I'm gonna go for a softball. I think that this one is gonna be a pretty universally agreed upon one. I love this track. It's one of my all-time favorite songs. The full-length version of this is an absolute banger.
Oh yeah, I know where we're
It's a
going.
great track. Life in a Glass House. Love that
Yeah.
song.
All right, let's see. Kylie.
Oh yeah, that's a definite yes for me.
Peter.
Here's where I'm the odd one out. So no.
All right. John.
No,
Uh,
fortunately.
Brian.
Oh yeah, I agree with the full length version is my preferred version, but I will take anyone I can get.
Anne.
Yes, I love when Radiohead goes full jazz.
Yeah.
Get that
And
Charles Mingus in here.
and Ben.
This is a hard big yes for me, but I also have very complicated thoughts about it, and I'm curious to get into it later.
Okay. Well, it's got a
Ooh.
5. So that's a very, very good at this point in the game, considering it's been a lot of 2s and 3s, very good. All right, Kylie.
I'm so glad that you guys all chose like oddball picks, and we'll see what happens, so that I get to pick what I think is the absolute number one best Radiohead song of all time, which is Pyramid Song.
Oh.
And I will fight anyone in the parking lot. You don't have to think it's number one, but if you didn't pick it, you'll be catching hands. So let's see how it goes.
Ooh.
Wow. Peter.
Parking lot of this Discord server.
So I guess I should be filing for a restraining order because I don't have it.
Oh no.
What in the
Oh,
world?
Yeah, wait. You're not gonna fight like a man? You're not gonna get out there and duke it out? You gotta get out there at least before you file a restraining order. You gotta see what happens. You could win.
I talk a
not gonna
big
fight it,
game, but
right?
I have absolutely no physical strength, so you will win, but I'm going to try my best anyway.
See, you're fine.
Yeah. All right, John.
I'm a pacifist. Yes, I do have Pyramid Song.
There we go. Brian.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Anne.
Of course.
Ben.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer.
Oof. Kat.
Is that another 5?
It's got to be said. This is a classic.
Oh, it's me. Hi. Yeah, I mean, Kylie doesn't even have to twist my arm about it. That's absolutely on my list.
Well, there you go. 6. 6 is as the way this is going. 6 is as good as in. So.
Wow, I really thought that was going to be a unanimous.
So did I.
And so it
Uh-oh.
begins.
So it begins.
Uh-oh.
All right, Peter.
Speaking of fights, if you're gonna come at me, you and whose army?
Oh yeah.
All right.
I like that. Good play on words. I like that.
All right.
Great segue.
We'll start with that. John.
What was the pick? I didn't hear.
You and whose army?
Yes, I do have that one.
All right. Brian.
I'm so fucking mad because that's my favorite Radiohead song to sing out loud, and I didn't put it on here because I knew it wasn't gonna make it all the way through, so I just didn't even pick it. But that's one of my favorite fucking songs. I'm so mad.
Anne.
It's one of the only Amnesiac songs that didn't make my list, unfortunately.
What the fuck?
I'm sorry.
Yo, I'm so
don't
confused
understand.
that this is going.
What
This
is
is
happening?
utterly
I've seen
baffling.
it live at every
What
single
in
show,
the-
and I think I've just gotten sick of it.
Wow.
That's a
I-
terrible reason.
That's
Paranoid Android at every fucking
Flabbergasted.
show. Like,
It's so good they play it every show, so screw it.
Oh man.
I don't understand this gaming it either. No one else is going to pick it, so I won't. If we all have that logic, then nothing good will go through.
That's true.
Mhm.
That'd be really funny.
Oh, but oh my god, we're playing so many different games here, guys.
All right, so let's get formalities here. Ben,
Yeah, absolutely.
Kat,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and Kylie.
Yes.
All right, so it's
Damn
got a 5 though. It's got a 5. All right, so we're back around, John. Where do you want to go?
Okay. Let's go to the singles. How about Staircase?
S-T-E-I-R. Oh my God! Type all the way out. There we go. Brian,
No.
we're all everywhere. I see. Anne,
Yeah.
No, didn't make my list.
Ben,
Yeah, I fucking love this song. Absolutely.
Nice.
Kat.
Oh, this is like one of my last cuts.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
Kylie.
I'm so sorry it chopped out and I missed what song we're talking about.
Staircase.
Oh, no.
All right, and last but not least, Peter.
super late cut for me.
Oi.
damn.
But I do want to say the 2010 live version of that slaps hard.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yes, it does.
Way good.
All right, Brian.
All right. Well, I went with the other one on that. I went with the Daily Mail.
All right. I feel like there's two people here that might. Anne?
Yes, it's on my list, but with the caveat that every time I re-listen to it to try to decide if it was going to make my list, the first 10 seconds always makes me think I'm going to hear my own stupid voice talking at the beginning of it because it's the song we used for our podcast theme. So I just have to get over that, and then the rest of it slaps. So yes, it did make my list.
There we go. And the other one I think might have had it, although he's showing to be quite a wild card. Ben?
I don't, because I don't like the studio version that they did from the basement. I think it's not the best way to record it, so it didn't make it.
There you go. See? Kat?
So what I mentioned earlier about some picks being sentimental and some picks being legitimate fighters in the ring, this one falls into the former camp. It is on my list, but I chose it mostly because it was one of the first songs that I learned how to play on piano, and it's just a really fun song to play. I just like it a lot. The imagery is great.
I learn a lot about you every week, Kylie, or Kat rather. Sorry. I learn so much. You work on a mountain, you play the piano. I know everything about you now. All right, sorry.
That's pretty much it, actually. So unfortunately, I have no more fun facts for you. I literally don't do anything else. So yeah, enjoy those fun facts.
I will.
There's not going to be anything more interesting coming out of that.
All right, sorry, I got tongue tied too. So, but we are moving on to Kylie. It is Kylie's turn.
That line about the Moonies up on the mountain, that's a cat.
That's true.
That's a line from Daily Mail, right?
I mean, I'm not a Moonie.
No, I'm
At
kidding.
least,
I'm kidding.
Not publicly. Not publicly.
I'm joking. You were just talking about being on a mountain. It's in the lyrics. Anyway, no, I didn't
Oh,
choose the
true.
song.
Okay. Peter?
Oh, I've got it.
There we go. And
Let's go.
John?
Maybe the best use of any song in a TV show. There was a show called Legion on FX a few years ago.
Oh, yes.
And they
Oh, yeah.
dropped this
Yeah.
in one of the episodes, and it just blew my mind. And I love this song since I first heard it. Yes, absolutely.
Well, there we go. Looks
Legion is the best X-Men related anything ever.
Yeah.
well, look at that. These fives are showing strong right now. So
Yeah, man.
we'll see if that holds up. All right. So Daily Mail was Brian, and it is your turn.
Okay, I think I'm going to pick the only other song on my list from the Bends that made it, just because I don't want to be only talking Amnesiac this whole time. Planetelics.
Ben?
That's the only other Ben song I got too. Yeah, I made it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cat?
Yeah, I have it. Hexadecimal Mix. Can I give a shout out to that one? Because that is my personal favorite version of that song. But Planet Telex is a great album opener. It hits. It's a great album opener.
Kylie?
Yeah, absolutely. When I said Street Spirit was 1 or maybe 2, it's because Planet Telex is kind of in the running for me.
Peter?
No, actually.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh. John?
This one got crossed off and rewritten about 4 times, but it did end up on my list, yes.
And Brian?
Yep, I got it.
There we go. And I think we're starting to see the death of these threes.
You
right.
shut your mouth.
Ben?
All right. I'm just gonna get some of the weird ones out of the way here. I love this one. I think it's so underrated. I remember Ed talking about it in an interview a few years back. I'm hoping I would love. They've never done it live. Be really cool if they did. Fucking Cut Tooth, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cat?
Yeah, I like this track. I have it on mine as well. I think it's I don't know, it's kind of funny. What's up with the Roman Empire? They're really into the Roman Empire in the lyrics of this era. Cool stuff.
No, unfortunately, didn't. I do really like it. It's again something I'd probably pick like in personal favorites, but I think I have the same logic with it as I do some other songs, where to me I can hear their influences too strongly, and so like for me it's not enough of like, oh, they made it their own. It's a little bit more like, okay, they're just kind of doing a thing in this genre.
That makes sense. I get it. Peter?
That's a no for me.
And John?
Yes, I absolutely love this song. I think another one that in an alternate reality is one of their best songs that gets played every night, and it was a huge hit.
Yeah.
Brian?
No.
Love that defeatist attitude. And
Yeah, I'm just not happy.
It's a big yes for me.
hey. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Like I said, these threes are not looking good. All right. Cat?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna throw my baby out into the wild to get mauled. This could be possibly my favorite Radiohead song. Yeah, you know what? I'll say that with my whole chest. This is my favorite Radiohead song. I love this track. It's kinetic.
Strangely, that was the one I was looking at, and then you said it. So
Let's go.
Kylie?
Telepathy.
I hate to maul your baby, but
That's fine.
unfortunately, no. I do love it. Again, I think like almost any of these B-sides or tracks from this Amnesiac era are like personal favorites, but I just couldn't defend it as a best.
There you go. Peter?
No, I don't have it. I'm sorry.
John?
No.
Oh, come on, baby. Let's go.
Brian?
Let's go.
No, sorry.
Uh-oh. Anne?
No, but it's a beautiful baby.
Yeah, thank you.
And Ben?
If this were faves, it would have made it, and it honestly was the last cut. And the only reason it got swapped out for another one that I think is gonna go further. So I was just like, I think this is gonna be more of a best of one. But fucking absolutely glad you picked it, because it is like, again, if this were faves, this would have absolutely made my list. So no for me.
I'm honestly stoked that this is the outcome. Like I was in some way I was expecting this one to be a really high pick for like most people.
Well, there you go. First one into the water. All right. Kylie?
I'm gonna pick since we're going with babies, this one's a little bit like my baby, and I would say it's kind of 50-50 sentimental pick of just something I really love and something that just blows my mind, and also one that I just think is really good on the merit of it being so different for them and so refreshing. And also because if you were ever on their website in like 2000, 2001-ish, they had like the beat of this on like a 2-bar loop that you could that would just play if you were on their website, and I would be on their website for hours because it was when it was like that. You would just click on stuff and it would just be really random and you could just get lost in it forever. So I would just hear it playing like a whole bunch. So pack like a sardines in a crushed in box.
Hey. All right, Peter?
Yeah, I have that one.
Oh. John?
No.
Brian?
Yeah, I do. It was the last one.
Anne?
Yes, also one of my favorites from Amnesiac.
Ooh. Ben?
Yeah, this fucking slaps.
And Kat.
Yeah, I've got sardines.
Whoa. I can't wait to look at these actual numbers because right now I'm just guessing on these threes.
It's kind of wild. I don't even really know what's made it yet.
Still
'Cause I'm
only
not
the
the one
one. There's only one that's in so far. Everything else is up for debate. All
That was
right.
what, Street Spirit?
Street Spirit's the only one in so far.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We got a couple sixes.
Oh wait,
though.
we didn't go unanimous with the Pact.
Nope.
No, I
No.
didn't have
No.
John didn't have it. Nope.
Whoa.
Came as close as Pyramid Song, I think.
Yeah, we got a couple.
Or
sixes
Glass
here.
House, right?
Yeah, there's.
it. No, Planet Telex was the other 6.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
All right, Peter, close out the round.
This was a nice surprise after years and years of waiting. But it was a nice surprise. It was a nice surprise to see it on the Kid Amnesiac reissue, and it's "Follow Me Around," a song that's been around a while, but they just didn't have a studio recording for it until now.
All right, John,
Yep, love it.
Brian,
I went with one of the other ones from that.
Anne.
It was one of the last songs to get cut from my list.
Ooh. Ben.
It didn't make it, but I do love this. I love that they didn't overproduce it. I think it's great.
Kat.
I don't have it. I want to second. There's something really fun about the two vocal tracks kind of playing off of each other. That really buzzy sound that's going on in there. It's a really cool track, and I'm really happy with how that recording came out in kind of relation, or I suppose like as a contrast to how I felt Man of War came out with the OK Computer reissues. So I think Follow Me Around just sounds really clean. I think it's a really fun track.
And Kylie.
No, it didn't make it.
Lots of twos this go around. I don't feel like we've had this many twos yet. So.
Yeah.
All right, we're back around to start the next round, John.
All right, let's see if we can hit on one here about like spinning plates.
Brian.
This is top 5. Not this version necessarily. I might be wrong version is top 5 absolute favorite Radiohead songs. Yes, without question.
We'll accept that answer. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anne.
Yes, this is probably top 10, possibly even top 5 favorite Radiohead songs, including the live version. I love them both equally, but the live version really is something special.
Ben?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Kid Amnesia version is actually my favorite, but I think the version we got on Amnesiac works perfectly on the album, and it's flawless.
Kat?
Yeah, I love this song. I have it on here. Definitely in my camp for top 10 Radiohead songs. Want to shout out to the Spinning Plates Pull Polk video. That was a really fun mix as well. Nobody's talking about it, but
No, that's fucking amazing.
it's really fun. I enjoyed that one.
All right, Kylie?
Yeah, big yes for me. I agree with the I Might Be Wrong live recordings version being really incredible, although I also really love the album version. And this is, I think, the first Radiohead song I learned to play on piano. So, sentimental to it as well.
Nice. It's a good one.
Another piano player. All right. Why are we just now learning this?
I'm not good at piano.
Kat's throwing out facts every episode. Come on, get on Kat's level.
Yeah, I've just got a big ego, so I'm happy to talk about myself.
All right, Peter.
I've got it.
Hey, there we go.
Hey.
There we go.
Is that unanimous?
Yes, indeed.
Oh,
Yes.
let's
Yes.
go.
Wow.
I also prefer the Kid Amnesiac version over the Amnesia version.
It's so good.
Maybe that's why it's unanimous, is because we each got to pick our own like version that we love best, and it still falls under the umbrella.
Still the same
Radiohead
song.
gamed
You know?
it. They gamed it.
However it gets in, it gets in. Phrasing.
It's just so ethereal live. It's amazing.
All right. Brian?
All right, we've had two of my top 5 Radiohead songs of all time just go through unanimously on this list. I think this is the one I'm gonna miss on. This is also the same rules apply. Fog Again is my preferred version and one of my favorite songs. I think I'm gonna have the lyrics to it tattooed on me at some point in my life. But Fog.
All right. Anne?
Yes, I love all of the Fogs. My personal favorite is the studio version, actually. That one has really grown on me over the years. But yes, I'm pro all versions of Fog.
Ben?
I think Fog Again is a perfect song, and honestly, it was the last one, like one of the last that got cut because, and this is a very particular reason, I don't know if this is legit, but I feel like it's a Tom Piano song, not a Radiohead song, and so I felt like I couldn't argue it for the band.
That's fair.
But I mean, it's a perfect fucking song. Like it like makes me emotional every time. Adore it. I'm so glad.
Never wash away.
Yeah.
All right, Kat?
It was also a late cut for me.
Ugh.
Yeah. Well, this one I was actually pretty bummed out about having to cut.
Yeah.
I love the little high-end noises in that song. It's just a really great soundscape, and so it sucked because it's, even though the songwriting of it doesn't feel super Radiohead, it's an excellent like showcase of just like a great soundscape. It's a great track, but sorry.
All right. Kylie?
No, it did not make my list.
Peter?
Got it.
Hey. And John?
Yes, I look forward to Fog again on the next LP.
Yeah, like I said,
Still Foggy.
those threes are dead. All right. Anne?
Are you guys happy with yourselves having killed that baby alligator?
Oh man.
I'm really torn about what I want to pick next. Okay, I think I'm going to go for one that might be potentially more of an easy win for me, although you guys are wild, so we'll see what happens. I might be wrong.
Ooh. Ben?
Yeah, absolutely.
Kat?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I don't like that sound.
Oh,
No, I love that song. I love that song. But yeah, there's a couple of other Amnesiac tracks that I wanted to make sure I still had.
There you go. Kylie?
Yes, huge yes for me.
Peter?
Even though it's basically Radiohead doing Personal Jesus, I still love it, and it's on my list.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
No, I meant that as a compliment.
John?
Yep, I got it.
And Brian?
Absolutely. Yeah. Iconic, I think.
Well, there we go. There we go.
That fucking riff, man.
It took you guys a while to find each other, but we're pounding out these 5s and 6 now.
I'm glad I didn't go with one of my more controversial picks then.
All right, Ben?
All right, I'm gonna go. This is my last Amnesiac song. I only got 3 songs left. And I love this one. I don't think it's gonna make it, but fuck, I love it. Is Dollars and Cents.
Kat?
And the pounds and pence, baby, we're in.
Hey.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Kylie?
Oh yeah, huge yes for me. High up on my list.
Wow. Peter?
Nope. Sorry.
John?
No.
Brian?
Yeah, no.
Anne?
Yes, what the fuck, you guys?
Where am I?
It's one of their best songs, I think. Like I go through phases where I'm, more attached to it than other times, but like I think as objective as I can be, I think it's one of their best songs.
Yeah.
Well, it's got 4. Barely clinging to life. All right, Kat.
Yeah, well, now we're just at the stupid section where, like, of my list, just like, threw them in because of very stupid little reasons that I couldn't really think of. Um, should I go? You know what, Patrick? I think you're gonna respect this one. I'm gonna go with the sentimental route. Um, I love Just. Let's put
Oh.
Just in there. Who cares?
There we go. Kylie?
I also picked Just for sentimental reasons.
Yes.
I can't really argue it's their best because it's basically just a repurposed magazine guitar riff, but God bless. It really blew my little mind when I was like 7 or 8 or whatever.
Peter?
Let's go.
I have it not only because it's a great song, but it started out as Tom and Johnny trying to fit as many chords into one song as possible.
All right, John?
I have it as well. Keep it going.
Wow. Brian?
Yeah, I got it as well.
Anne?
It was the last Ben song to get cut from my list. But it is one of my favorite songs to sing along to.
And I actually feel like I already know the answer to this. Ben?
Yeah, this one got cut at the last minute for Fake Plastic Trees, but I really love this one.
Wow, just with a 5.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah.
No, not
Just
at all.
a 5,
huh?
The way this
We
is
do
gone.
it to ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, truly.
The way this is gone, 5 is good. All right, Kylie?
I'm gonna do my last Ben's track. I chose this for kind of the same reasoning some people were talking about Fake Plastic Trees, where I just thought it was kind of like, I don't know, endemic of this era for them, and just like, I don't know, it's just a great song live. It's a great experience. My Iron Lung.
Oh. Peter?
I love that song, but that was a late cut for me.
John?
No.
Brian?
Yeah, I love that pitch shifter on that. Great.
And then I'm fairly certain both Ann and Ben have said they have got nothing on the Bens. Am I right on that?
I cut my Iron Lung from my list before it even started.
Fair.
This is such a fun fucking song, but yeah, it did not make it for me.
And I think Kat said the same thing before playing Just. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, I love Iron Lung. It's a really fun tuning. It's a pretty cool song if you think about it like from a technical standpoint. But yeah, I had to cut it.
All right, so close out the round strong, Peter.
They hopefully will try to. How about Knives Out?
All right, John?
I'm going to say no and then go hide in the corner.
Brian?
Well, you gotta say some room for me in that corner because I did want to cut it, but I couldn't put the whole album on there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Ann?
It's on my list. It's one of the songs that I figured wouldn't make it very far, but I have a big emotional attachment to it, so it had to make my list.
Ben?
Sentimental fave, but did not make it for me.
Kat?
It didn't make it on my list, and I thought about it when I was making this list because I had a really cool conversation with Kylie. I think a couple of other people were in this too because it was in one of the group chats about all the animal imagery in Tom York's writing. And because that had been mulling in my head as I was making this list, or I guess looking over this list, I thought maybe I should add Knives Out because of like the value that adds to the general conversation about like Radiohead songwriting. But I dropped it.
And last but not least, Kylie.
My psychic influence didn't work.
No.
No, it made my list, but this is actually my lowest ranking Amnesiac song.
There you go. 3, so it's not likely to see another day. All right, so we're back around to you, John. I gotta imagine you're ticking down here. Only a few left.
Yeah, I got one left, actually.
There we go. So let's see where you want to go here.
Super Collider.
All right. There it is. Brian?
Yes. I didn't think that had a chance in hell, but yeah, I love that song.
Anne?
It was a really hard cut for me to make, but no, it didn't
Fuck
make
you.
it. I'm sorry. I knew you were going to be mad at me.
Did you just show your cards, Ben?
Yeah, absolutely. I love this song. I'm so happy you said it. This was going to be the next one I was going to say. This song I think, is one of the best things they've ever done. I am so blown away by it. I think it deserves to be their longest song. It's fantastic. Love it.
Kat?
Yeah, I was just about to say, I like when a song is 7 minutes, so that's why it's on my list. It's on my list for other reasons, but when a song is very long, I love that kind of shit. Shout out to, yeah, no, truly, like, shout out to Can. Love it.
Yeah.
Kylie?
I really love it. It was like one of my last cuts. It didn't quite make the list.
Damn, Ben is really in it today.
Yeah. Peter?
Got it.
All right, 5.
Yeah, Peter.
Still alive.
Let's go, Peter.
All right. Let's get a check on how many you've got left, Brian.
Let me see. 1, 2, 3.
Jeez.
Yeah, 3.
Okay. Where do you want to go next?
I mean, they're all gonna whiff. So, I love this song. They played it live the second night in Philly when I saw them, and it was pretty emotional for me. I don't think anybody is gonna have it, but Spectre, their Bond song.
All right. Anne?
I
Should've been
swear to
the
God, I
movie.
almost had Spectre on my list. It was really, really close. But no, unfortunately.
Ben?
This didn't make my list, but I don't know. It was like one of the first live performances of it that we saw in Chicago, and that blew me away. I was like kind of muted on it until seeing it live, and then that shit was amazing. So I love it, but it didn't make it.
I believe that was the first time that the band ever played it, and Tom
Yeah.
had played it at a solo gig or something a little before that. It
So fucking cool.
was amazing.
Kat?
For some reason, I'm feeling like I actually saw it in Boston during his Tomorrow Modern Boxes tour, the second leg of it. Now I'm not remembering correctly. It's not on my list, but I could have sworn I saw that one at that show.
It might have been. That might have been one of
Yeah.
the solo Tom performances.
Yeah. It was great live. I like the studio version as well. I think it's excellent. I think whoever was doing the movie scoring for Bond is a dipshit for dropping that.
That fucking Sam Smith song they picked sucks comparatively.
Honestly, the
Oh, yeah.
movie's not good enough for it.
It isn't. It really isn't. It's one of the only
Well, I
disappointing
mean,
ones
most
they've done
TV
recently.
shows aren't good enough for the Radiohead show or the Radiohead songs to be put on. Honestly, TV is
Correct.
like whatever. But like when I see cutting up the walls, climbing up the walls, I'm just like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I just like this song a lot.
All right. Kylie, Spectre.
No, it didn't make my list.
All right. Peter?
No, it's not on mine.
All right. Let's get a little bit of a...
Well, there's no longer a Spectre haunting this list.
taste here. All right. Let's get a check on where you're at here, Anne.
I have 2 songs left.
Okay. And where you want to go next?
I think I'm going to go for the one that I think there might be a chance that somebody else might actually also have on their list. Not anyone specific, just I think it's a cool song, and if nobody else has it, I'll be sad. The Amazing Sound of Orgy.
Woohoo!
Again, weird. I was looking right at that one. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Because it has an orgy in it. That's why.
Orgy.
Could be.
All right.
Orgy.
Ben.
Yeah. This was the last addition to my list. I don't think it's like the best thing they've ever done, but I think it's one of their better B-sides, and it's just a really fucking cool song. It's a personal fave.
Kat.
Yeah, this was one of my early solidified songs actually. I was like, I mean, not in the grand scheme of things. I know it's not going to be a top 10 contender, and I'm not going to go seppuku over it in the 40 list that we've come up with or are about to finalize. But I was like, yeah, this is definitely a strong track in the milieu that we've got here.
Kylie.
Yeah, I have it on my list. I love it. It's probably my second favorite behind Worrywart of their B-sides, and I just love the different sounds that they play with. and I love that it holds up in the spoopy, scary songs that they do.
Peter?
No, I don't have it.
All right. And we know John's out. Brian?
Yeah, I would put this in the same vein as Meeting in the Aisle, honestly. I like this song a lot.
All right. So that's a 5. Wow.
Let's go.
I also forgot to say that every time I listen to it, it makes me think of the way that Danny DeVito says the word orgy on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
It's funny that you say that.
Orgy.
It's funny that you
my
say that
God.
because this is Glenn Howerton's favorite Radiohead song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did like a online. Somebody asked him online, and that's what he threw out. And I was like, "Oh, you're
Oh, damn.
That's
you
fucking
must be a
sweet,
Radiohead
dude.
like weirdo."
Good for him.
Yeah,
All right.
That's fucking hot, honestly. That's sexy.
Honestly, yeah.
All
yeah,
right.
it's kind of a good answer.
Yeah.
It
Does
must
that
be
really
always sunny
get
because it's hot in
5?
here.
That's
Woo.
crazy.
Yeah, really.
I mean, it's a big meated song.
That's right.
Yeah,
Literally in the title.
Yeah, it's right there. All right, Ben, let's get a check on where you're at.
I'm out.
All right, so Ben is out. Same question to you, Kat. How many you got left?
This is great. I'm finished.
Oh, okay. Kylie.
I've got one left.
All right, let's hear it.
This is my like kind of goofy-ish. It's not a goofy, but it's like my wild card pick. I don't think it's going anywhere. I doubt anyone else has it, but I just wanted to shout it out because I feel like it's a little underrated. Ill Wind.
All right. Peter?
No.
And then we know John's done. Brian?
That was not. I contemplated it though. I'm not gonna lie.
And then
Yeah.
you got what? One left, Anne? Is this it?
Yeah, and it's not Ill Wind,
Oh, there we
unfortunately.
go. And then we know
How
Ben
dare you?
and Kat are done.
I will say I appreciate that they just wanted to make a song out of that lead from True Love Waits, the original version,
Oh, yeah.
because that thing is so good. Like it deserved a song of its own.
All right. Peter, let's get a check. Where are you at?
I got 3 left, but they're all Ben songs, so I know that they're not going anywhere.
All right, so let's trot one out here.
Title track, the Bens.
All right. And Brian
Nope.
and Anne.
I wanted to include it so bad, but just wasn't room for it.
That's such a good song.
That was number
It's
16
cool.
for me. Yeah.
All right, Brian.
All right. Well, I don't think anybody's gonna have it, and clearly not everyone's gonna have it. I like this version better. I don't care. I like them both, but this is my preferred one. Morning Bell, Amnesiac.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
That's the last one on my list.
Well, there you go.
Wait, doesn't that
I-
count as Morning Bell? Like, aren't all Morning Bells grouped together?
No, in
I don't
this list
think
they're not.
so.
They're actually
No,
mean,
no,
like-
not this one because they were
They're
both
so
on the
different, and
each
they're on
album.
different records that I feel like
Yeah.
they count as 2 songs, which is, I'm kind
Yeah.
of like shooting myself in the foot by saying that because I prefer the Amnesiac version, and it's certainly not going to make it, but yeah.
And we did put the Kid A version on, so that was a big factor in me saying no to this one.
Yeah, same.
It's only got 2 anyway, so. All right. You want to, just for fun, throw out your other 2 Ben's tracks, Peter?
Yeah, Bulletproof I Wish I Was, and Bones.
All right.
Oh, I almost
Bones
wanted
would be on there
Bulletproof.
for me if it was like sentimental favorites. Love that song.
All right. So what was that? 2 through unanimously. Everything else is up. All right. So Street Spirit and Like Spinning Plates are in, and we got 1, 2, 3,
Fucking wonderful.
4 6s.
Good.
Let's push the 4 6s in.
Yep.
Anybody disagree?
Yeah.
What are the
I'm
what are
down
the
with that. I'm
Yeah.
curious what they are. I can't remember, but
All right. So
Yeah.
Planet Telex, Packed Like Sardines, Pyramid Song, and I Might Be Wrong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I
fucking
can
I
go with
say
that.
go for it.
there. Yeah.
I was the only one that didn't go for I might be wrong, but that was kind of a toss
Might
up
you be wrong?
throw out.
Are you?
Oh yeah, no, I think it's a
think
great
we're all
song. It's
fighting
got a
for
lot
that
of
one.
merit, so I'm totally fine with pushing that one through.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 5s, and we only have room for 4. All right. So here
Ooh.
we got Just, You and Whose Army, Life in a Glass House, The Amazing Sounds of Orgy, The Daily Mail, and Super Collider. All right, John,
Oh.
do you want to?
Right.
Is something jumping out to you?
Oh, yeah, I think I keep looking at Super Collider, but we're gonna come back to that. I think probably You and Whose Army and the Daily Mail would be the two that stick out to me.
All right, same question to you, Brian. Is there one or two that are kind of glaring omissions?
We're picking the ones that I want, that I think belong there or don't belong there.
Belong, yeah.
Oh, what are they again? I'm so sorry.
Just, You and Whose Army,
Uh-huh.
Life in a Glass House, The Amazing Sounds of Orgy, The Daily Mail, and Super Collider.
I don't want to cut any of those. I guess Just.
Okay.
Even though I had that one of those, I don't want to cut any of that. That's awful. I don't want to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, which ones do you like the most?
The ones I like the most, You and Whose Army, obviously. I didn't pick it because it was too emotional to pick. I didn't think it was going to go through. So I love that song. Super Collider, I'm a big fan of pushing that through too. Even though I know it's not going to beat, I don't think any of these songs are going to beat any of the other lists anyway. So for me, it's just about representation. Great songs.
Yeah. All right, Anne, two songs that you would really, really like to see get in?
I think the one I feel the strongest about is Life in a Glass House. I would like that one to get in, please. And
Yeah.
I actually think, even though it wasn't on my list, I think I would be inclined to let Just in, just to have some more, no pun intended, to have some more Ben's representation on there. And it is a really good song.
All right, Ben, do you have two that you're leaning towards?
I'm torn here because I think of these, Life in a Glass House is far and away my favorite, but it's also only got Tom on there. Like, there's no other Radiohead band members on there. So even though it's like this iconic Radiohead song for me, it's also in my mind not really a Radiohead song because it's not really the band. So I kind of feel like Super Collider and You and Whose Army.
Okay. All right, Kat.
That's I agree with the Super Collider, absolutely. I want Super Collider in there. I'm gonna stick with Life in a Glass House as my other standout. Just from a composition standpoint, it's great. Does what Radiohead, in my mind, kind of sets out to do, which is marry avant-garde with not necessarily pop music, but music that fits within a pop framework, or a more mainstream framework. Maybe my perception of mainstream is skewed, but I feel like Life in a Glass House is a really nice one foot in each grave.
All right, Kylie, two that are jumping out to you?
Yeah, You and Whose Army, I think for sure has to be up there. I think the live experience of that is one of Radiohead's best, and I just think it's a phenomenal song. And then Life in a Glass House. And I kind of understand the argument of like the band's not featured, but we also don't know what involvement every band member had with the arrangement or the selection of instruments or the conduction of instruments or anything like that. So
yeah, I would agree. I would find it hard to believe that Johnny didn't have anything to do with a Glass House.
My understanding was that they didn't. My understanding from interviews and things is that it was actually that composer, the lead guy who was the head of that ensemble, who composed it with the
just
band a
Tom?
little bit, but then it ended up being mostly just Tom and him working out what they wanted to do with it.
Interesting.
Well, either way, the rest of the band agreed to put it on the record. So
yeah, I think there's that too. You know, I don't know. For me, I just have to. I think it's just like
yeah. I mean, I'm no problem with that. I'm not gonna fight it. Like that song is brilliant to me. It is purely just like a technicality thing of like I don't know how to argue it, but I love it. So no arguments here.
All right, and Peter.
Two that are jumping out at me are Just and the Daily Mail.
All right, so here's what I heard: You and Whose Army, Life in a Glass House, and Super Collider are in, and then it's down to Just versus technically the Daily Mail for the last spot. Did anybody else hear something different?
I mean, I know I put in for Just, but Daily Mail under Just.
I think there's a lot of songs in the same vein as the Daily Mail that are
Yeah, I can see that.
are represented on this list. So I think Just is a better. I don't know. It kind of encompasses more of Radiohead's sound over the
Yeah,
years
that's fair.
Yeah, I
than the
agree.
Daily Mail did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
can work
do
with
kind of
that.
have a
Then,
lot
yeah.
of like Daily Mail coded songs on the list already, but not a lot of
Yeah.
representation.
Yeah, all right.
I
can
kind of don't
respect that.
think either the Daily Mail or Just are going to make it past this argument that we're
No,
having.
I don't either. Yeah.
So I'm cool with whatever.
So, for clarity, am I correct in assuming You and Whose Army, Life in a Glass House, and Super Collider?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure.
I think so.
Yeah, I can work with that.
Yep.
All right. So then it is down to Just versus the Daily Mail, and John, I didn't hear you weigh in on Just versus the Daily Mail.
I have to go with the Daily Mail.
Ooh. Did anybody else not chime in? I think maybe I didn't hear Ben, or did I?
I'm torn. I feel like I'm leaning just because it's such an iconic sort of song. I don't know. I'm fine with either.
Cool.
That's helpful.
I can't make these decisions, folks.
All right. I mean, I'll officially go just. Just is
Okay.
my vote.
All right. So let me come back to you then, Peter. Do you, at this point, with everything else the way it's been, are you okay with Just being number 10?
I mean, Just and Daily Mail were both my two standouts, so but I'm fine with Just going in.
All right, and then same
With
question.
just.
just. Same question to you, John. Relinquish, or does the Daily Mail need more love?
Was I the only one that preferred the Daily Mail over Just?
Well, Peter laid down for it to let Just through, so that's why I'm swinging over to you. Because you and Peter are the only ones who said the Daily Mail.
Yeah. I mean, all right. If I'm outvoted, then I'm outvoted.
All right, so let's get that down to 10 here. If my math is correct, and it is, Street Spirit, Like Spinning Plates, Planet Telex, Pack Like Sardines, and a Crushed $10. Pyramid Song, I Might Be Wrong, You and Whose Army, Life in a Glass House, Super Collider, and Just. Now we'll join those other 30 songs in our Radiohead Championship Edition finals. So,
Wow.
This is the
That
weirdest
wasn't
10
as
out of all
hard as I
four.
thought.
This is pretty solid.
well,
Yeah, it's both. It both is and is not what I expected somehow.
Yeah.
I think it makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
Well, you guys have done it. You should be proud of yourselves. And soon we'll get together one more time for a finals. So be ready for that. And I'm gonna hit the space bar.